retirement's been calling. He just won't answer.
LeBron James' time in the NBA is running out, and his refusal to retire is dragging the Lakers down with him, and the entire league knows it. The fans have been saying this forever, but now even the legends are saying it out loud. LeBron's era is over, and it's time for Luka Doncic to take over. And this isn't just Twitter noise or hot takes. Michael Jordan himself said this. And that's just Michael Jordan. Wait until you hear how far Magic Johnson and Shaquille O'Neal took this. Trust me, you haven't heard them speak like this before. You know what people keep missing. All of this didn't start this season. This whole Luka takeover has been building for years because it's simply the most logical next step, and the only person acting shocked by it is, of course, LeBron himself. Honestly, if you've been paying attention, the signs are impossible to miss. By the beginning of 2026, Luka Doncic wasn't just a contender anymore. He was the gravitational center of the Lakers. Just look at the All-Star voting at the start of the year. Over 5.2 million fan votes poured in for Luka, while LeBron barely crossed 3.1 million, and the wildest part is nobody was surprised. So if everyone, the fans, the media, the players, including the legends of the game, collectively agrees that it's Luka's time, why the hell are we still watching 41-year-old LeBron on the court? Why are you 41 years old and still trying to compete with 20-year-olds? And it's not just the voting numbers. It was obvious in the games the Lakers played early in the year. Early 2026 was like Luka's personal coming-out party. Against the Pelicans, he dropped 32 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, and walked off like it was just another Tuesday at practice. Then 2 nights later, the Lakers beat the Grizzlies. Luka put up 28 points, 10 assists, and 12 rebounds. Even the players around him are elevating because of his impact. We're seeing Austin Reeves hitting shots he wouldn't normally take and Rui Hachimura suddenly cutting harder and finishing cleaner. And here's the not-so-crazy part. None of this required LeBron. It's been clear to anyone watching, and even the legends have been signaling to LeBron for years that his time with the Lakers and the NBA in general is up. We understand he's still trying to prove he's one of the greats, but nothing he does now will make fans place him on the same level as players like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. In fact, Magic Johnson said it himself in a press conference in 2025. That's what makes him a bad boy and the best that's ever done it. I don't get it twisted, I love LeBron, but no, it's not disrespect, it's just reality. And it's not only Magic. Shaq has been equally blunt with his opinion. He says the Lakers need to start building the next 10 years around Luka, not another farewell tour for a 41-year-old. At some point we will see LeBron retire, but you got a 25-year-old Luka Doncic, so that means we got another good 10 years looking at the Lakers. But on the other hand, Cedric Maxwell, who's a Finals MVP and 2-time Celtics champion, a guy who actually played alongside Larry Bird, came out and compared Luka to Bird. He talked about Luka's court vision, how he manipulates defenders without relying on explosive athleticism, and the way he controls the pace of a game. When someone like you says that Luka is a carbon copy of Larry Bird, that's obviously a more powerful statement than I said right now. I think that if you asked me who Larry Bird would be like in the NBA, Luka would be him, or he'd be Luka. These aren't hot takes. They're expert-level, first-hand comparisons. Even analysts like Jovan Buha have been talking about the Lakers' offensive rhythm improving dramatically with Luka at the center. Possessions look cleaner, the ball moves faster, and spacing is sharper. It's the kind of improvement you can actually measure. In January 2026 alone, the Lakers' net rating when Luka was on the floor without LeBron jumped to plus 5.2, showing how his presence transforms the team's efficiency. Even the clutch game numbers reinforce it. In that back-to-back Memphis series, Luka had a usage rate north of 34%, an efficiency rating around 28%, and a box plus-minus of plus 10.8. These aren't just flashy stats. They show he's running the offense, creating opportunities, and maintaining elite efficiency while dragging the team through high-pressure moments. Meanwhile, LeBron has been playing fewer games, struggling with back soreness and injuries. The message is crystal clear: it's time to pack it up, old man. And LeBron knows it. That's what makes it tense. He stayed because he wanted one last run, one more chance to define his legacy. But Luka shouldn't have to wait for anyone's permission. And just like Shaq said, LeBron isn't doing much for the Lakers anymore, and the numbers prove they really don't need him. If you want to see how true that is, just watch a Lakers game when LeBron wasn't on the floor. Early in the 2025 to 2026 season, LeBron missed the first 14 games due to his back issues, and honestly it was the perfect showcase of why the narrative around him being some unstoppable force is outdated, because the team didn't just survive without him, they thrived. The Lakers went 10-4 in that stretch, and Luka wasn't just putting up numbers. He was carrying the offense, dictating the pace, and putting everyone else in position to succeed. Across those games, he averaged 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists per night with an efficiency rating around 27.5% and a box plus-minus of plus 9.3. And the team stats make it even more obvious. While he was out, the Lakers' net rating without LeBron sat at plus 1.1, meaning they were a positive team on both ends of the court, but when he returned, that same net rating dropped to minus 2.5. And honestly, being a true leader isn't something you can fake. When LeBron was out dealing with his injuries, Luka was already prepared for the team to move forward without him. In his words, hopefully LeBron can join us as soon as possible, but the mentality has to be next man up. I just want to play basketball, whether that's less or more, whatever it takes to get the win. He wasn't waiting for anyone's approval or asking for permission. He was in charge. That combination of production and character in today's NBA is almost unheard of, especially at 26 years old. It reminds me of watching players like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant in their prime. But faster, more efficiently while dragging his team up with him. Also, out of the two of them, only one player has ever abandoned his team to go chase championships. Luka Doncic remained with his team until the front office traded him. That alone should tell the Lakers who they need to start rallying behind. And when it comes to clutch moments, Luka is on a different level than LeBron James right now. Take the game on January 10, 2026, against Memphis, the first of that back-to-back. The fourth quarter was tight, and the Lakers were down by 2 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, and almost like he activated an extra gear he'd been saving, in the last 5 minutes he hit 7 of 9 shots, including a massive step-back 3 that basically sealed the game. Meanwhile, in a similar crunch-time moment earlier against Phoenix, LeBron scored a late jumper, but the team actually performed worse with him on the floor and ended that stretch at -3. Or look at the January 12 Memphis rematch, where the game came down to the last 2 minutes. In those final 2 minutes, Luka put up 8 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds while setting up other players for open shots just by drawing all the attention to himself. LeBron's true shooting percentage in the last 5 minutes is around 52%, while Luka's sits at 61%. At the NBA level, that's a massive difference, and the impact goes beyond stats. Remember what I said about Luka making his teammates better? Well, in that back-to-back Memphis series, Rui Hachimura scored 22 points over the 2 games and hit 70% of his shots, and Austin Reeves knocked down 5 clutch threes, all set up by Luka's decision-making. Compare that to the game against Toronto, where LeBron scored 8 points. That was the same game where the Lakers lost their rhythm and had to rely on a contested three-pointer by a role player to force the match into overtime. And that brings me to the point I made earlier. Luka is currently outperforming LeBron in every meaningful metric, from scoring to passing, efficiency, floor control, leadership, and durability. So that's why when Michael Jordan said retirement was calling on LeBron, it wasn't so much a jab as him clearly stating the truth. LeBron should move on. Moving on wouldn't erase anything he's done. If anything, it would elevate his legacy. Or he can stay in the way until the Lakers, the front office, and reality force the decision for him, and that version is ugly. Luka is already here, the team is his, the future is his, and the only question left is whether LeBron exits like a legend or gets pushed out like a relic.